In this video, I'm going to show you a method you can follow that's completely free and is almost guaranteed to get you traction. It's how I got from 0 to over 1,000 Twitter followers in about 45 days after months and months of frustration. So let's jump straight into it. So the very first thing we want to do is you want to make sure our profile is on point. So when we're driving the traffic to this page, which is technically the end of our funnel on Twitter, that we're converting either to follows or people are clicking through our links. So you can see here on the analytics for last month, I'm not a big creator on here. I've only started recently, but I'm already getting, for 224 tweets, which is really not a lot. That's like one tweet a day and some comments here and there because they're counted as tweets. I got 72,000 impressions and about 8,000 profile visits, which means 8,000 people are landing on this page here, reading my little bio and clicking these links. So you want to make sure that this is optimized to convert because you're going to get a lot of traffic to it. You will get a lot of organic traffic this way. So let me just show you very quickly how you can optimize this bio. Here you can see in the banner, you want to just show your mission statement very quickly. Plain English, something short and catchy. So I've unlock a life of freedom. It's intriguing enough that they're going to stay and read on to see how I actually try to achieve that. Now, so you want to have your mission as number one. And number two, you want to show them your topic and how they can benefit from following you. So I have insights on building online businesses and selling organically. If somebody is building their own online business or they're trying to get organic traffic, this will be of interest to them. They'll see the arrow, they might click follow. Third thing I want to show you is something a lot of people overlook, the banner on the mobile. A lot of people, they do their banner in Canva or something like that on the desktop, they add it and they forget about it. They don't check it on different devices. So play around with a mobile and make sure that it's readable and that your headline isn't stuck behind your profile picture. If it is, just adjust it. Now, thing number 4 is your profile picture. Another thing a lot of people mess up on is they don't put a professional one up. They think it's social media, it's only Twitter, it's very casual, which is actually a good thing because it means anyone who does put a professional one up will really stand out. You don't have to go and pay for anyone to do it. Just make sure it's a decent looking picture. You're looking head on at the camera, and it just shows some social proof that you're there. You're standing behind your work. It's a great way of building trust. Now, the fifth thing when we get into the bio here is the top line. You want to have generally 3 lines, and you want to be as concise as possible. The first line you want to show your experience, again, an extra bit of social proof, and you want to differentiate yourself. So keep this short. I've got nomadic solopreneur. So there's lots of solopreneurs out there, but what makes it a little different is that I've been digital nomad for 10 years. So there's a lot of people getting into that space as well. So if they land on this page, I'll stand out to them. So things like that really help, And then the second thing we want to do here is show them what you're working on at the moment that's relevant to the niche. So they still see you're providing value currently and you're still, in the trenches, building your own businesses. It's very interesting for people to see you building your stuff in public. And the third thing is you want to, again, reiterate the benefits of them following you. Just hammer that home. So I have sharing how I build and scale solo businesses while traveling the world. Traveling the world bit, it just adds a bit of a unique touch to it. It's also quite personal. And again, it hammers home the benefits. Now, once you have your bio done, the next thing you want to do is go back to your profile page and you want to post a tweet, spend a little time in this tweet. Obviously, this will change over time and you can update it. But what you want to do is you want to make sure that it's a high quality tweet and then pin it to the top of your profile. So you just click the 3 arrows. Oh, sorry, that's a retweet. 1 second. You just click the 3 arrows and you would click pin to your profile. And then it sticks here. So anyone comes to your page, if this kind of interests them a bit and they haven't taken an action like followed or clicked to that, your link, they'll scroll down here and they'll see some high quality value surrounded by your niche, some of your best tips, and then most likely they'll follow to hang around and check out your future posts. So let's move on to the next step. For step 2, once you have your profile on point and looking good, you want to start driving some attention to it. So the quickest way to get traction is not by posting tweets. It's not by looking at competitors' tweets and doing something similar. In fact, when you have no followers, you're not going to get any impressions at all, really, and it's extremely hard to get traction. That's why nobody can really move the needle at this stage. So what you have to do is you have to start following some people to get attention. Now, choose somebody in your niche that, maybe is a year ahead of you, has 100,000 followers, 50,000 followers. It doesn't even have to be that many. They're just in your niche and they're getting some traction and doing well. Someone you might aspire to to get your accounts to a similar level in like a year or so. Go to their profile, and they obviously have to be in your niche. So they're posting similar stuff to yourself. So here you can see Justin Welch is one of the biggest creators on Twitter, but he's a solopreneur and he's building digital products very similar to myself. So his audience is similar to what my audience is. So when we scroll down here, we can see his latest tweet is making a minor investment in SEO. So I talk a lot about SEO myself. I use it a lot. So the people who like this tweet are gonna probably like a lot of my tweets. So I go in and I see who liked it by clicking on the likes button here. And anybody who resonates with me here, like when you go through it, I mean, this person's a full stack web developer. They're probably more of a programmer than anything else. So not really, I probably wouldn't follow that person. But this person calls himself the entrepreneurial coach, helping you grow a business. Very similar to what I do. So I would open up that account. And then what you want to do here is, read a few of their tweets, make sure they resonate, comment, like, go back up and follow. And if you do this 20, 30, 40, 50 times a day, you're going to start seeing a lot of these people following you back because they're interested in you just as you're interested in them. And if they see you commenting on their stuff all the time, they'll get curious and they'll see who you are. And after a week or two, you're going to have a lot of people following you back. You can usually get 20, 30%. If you're targeting the right people, you can get a 20%, conversion rate on your follows. So if you follow, say 300, a couple of hundred people, say 300 people, you might get 50, 60 followers from that. And that's definitely doable in a week. So once you start getting a little bit of traction there, we're going to move on to the next step. So the third thing we want to do after we have about 50, 60 followers, we're going to go back to our profile and we're going to see as we're posting, as I said, we're not going to be putting a tremendous amount of effort into our posts. We might even do one every 2 or 3 days. Eventually we'll be doing 1 to 2 every day. And I'm going to show you at the end of this video how you can come up with content ideas very easily. So what you want to do is when people are starting to like your tweets, you click on similar to what we've done in the last step, but you do it on your own profile. You click your latest tweet and you click on how many likes, you click on your likes, and you can see which accounts are liking your tweets. So these guys are championing you at the start. They're following your stuff, they're liking your stuff, they're clearly into it. So you want to see what their stuff is about. You want to keep it a two-way, connection. So let's just say we would copy the name of one of these people who are following us and liking our latest stuff. Copy the person's name and take it to something like a Notion template where you can, take it to a Notion template here where you can start adding the names in. And this is my list here. I've got one for LinkedIn as well. It changes all the time. I've got 47 people on it at the moment. These are the people who I'm very familiar with. They're liking a lot of my stuff. I resonate with their content, so I like a lot of their stuff back. I'm building meaningful engagements here. So what you want to do is you want to add to this list by, first of all, going in to see who likes your stuff already, but then go back to your homepage, your home feed, and see which users you think you would want to comment on. Even if they're not liking your stuff as well, because you're probably not going to get a lot of likes early on. Find some accounts that are very similar to yours, that have a similar audience to what you aspire for, and add them to the list as well. And then the third group of people you want to add are the bigger creators. So like the ones I showed you originally when I went for the Justin Welch account. He has like 300,000 followers, but he's in my niche. He's just a lot further ahead on Twitter. So I would add him in there and I would start commenting on his post as well. He's unlikely, or anyone with that many followers are unlikely to see or reply or follow me back or reply to my, or leave comments on my tweets, should I say. But that's not the point. The point is his fans will see my replies, my meaningful replies to his tweets. And if I can add some value there, they're much more likely to see that. And then by piggybacking on his impressions, some of those people will click through my profile. I'll get a lot more impressions. And then I'll get a lot more followers from that as well. So you want those 3 types of creators on your list. And when you have a list of about 20 or 30 of them, we can move on to the next step. And in this step, we're going to open up TweetDeck, which is a free part of the Twitter app. It's called tweetdeck.twitter.com. Completely free. You don't need any paid software to do this. And it's fantastic. It's a fantastic way of engaging with people at scale quickly. So the first thing you want to do here is click on Add Column on the left and click on List. And then we want to click on Create List. And let's just call this one Test. Call it whatever you want, obviously, like top creators, or if you're targeting, If your niche is kind of broad enough, you might have somebody who does you might have a marketing list who you want to go in each day and commenting on the marketer stuff. You might have one that's about, programming or something like that. You just talk about the tech stuff. But in most cases, one list will do. So call it whatever you want. Click on private instead of public. This just means that when you add someone to the list, they don't get notified, because personally, I don't know. There's a personal preference. I don't want people knowing that I've added them to a list. I'd rather just make it seem more organic when I'm engaging with your stuff. So once you have your list created, you want to just go back to your Notion or wherever you do this. And let's just take one of these accounts, and we just click account name, hit enter, and then we'll add this person to the list. And then just click done. Okay, now we can see here, this is all the stuff that this person's doing, all the stuff they're retweeting, all the stuff they're posting. That's not generally what we're looking for. You're going to have a lot of people in your list, but we don't want to see all their retweets and stuff like that. We want to just comment on their tweets directly. So let's just show you here. I'll just clear this out of the way and show you my actual list. So this is my actual list here on the left-hand side of about 40, 50 creators, whatever it is. And I come in here every day, and you can open one up. You can leave a reply, you can leave a like, you can go back, you can go in here, leave a reply, leave a like. And the best part about it is you're not going to see any fluff in here. You're not going to see any accounts that you don't want to follow. Now, one more thing I want to quickly show you here is, sorry. When you go to preferences here, you can do a few things. You can enable notifications. You can show if you have any images in here, you can make them bigger or smaller. Small things, but one thing that you should check is you want to make sure retweets are excluded, because some people retweet so many other accounts that you're not interested in. You don't want to be seeing these in the list. You just want to be seeing the actual creators you're following and their latest tweets. So, once you have them added in here, you can come in and you can bash out 20, 30 meaningful replies. Sometimes if I see a tweet that I can't quickly reply on, I just scroll past it. It doesn't matter. But you should be able to find 20, 30 that you can comment on very quickly in about 10 minutes, 15 minutes maximum. You save yourself hours of effort by using this. So once you have this done, we can move on to the next step, which is going to be creating some good content. So at this stage, you're going to have some followers, because you've been following people in your niche and they've been following you back. And you've been also engaging with them in a meaningful way, almost daily with a lot of them. So you're going to get a lot of attention. You're going to get a lot of impressions. So you want to start creating some decent content. Now, it's hard to come up with new stuff to write about every day. So I'm going to show you 2 ways we can get content whenever we need. So the first way to get high quality content ideas is to install the Google Chrome extension, which is completely free. It's called Twemex, Twemex. And you can see it's a sidebar for Twitter. So I'll show you what that means now. When you go back to the Twitter dashboard here and click on home, whatever profile you click on, I'll show you now, 1 second. Let's just pick one here. 1 second, whatever profile you click on the right hand side, should I say, there's going to be a panel you can open, and it shows you all their best performing tweets. So a lot of them are the latest because the accounts grow, obviously, but sometimes you can scroll through here and you can get some really good ideas for content ideas. You can see what's resonating with the audience. So if this person has a similar audience to yourself, let me see. If this person has a similar audience to yourself, then you're going to be able to get some really good content ideas. You can see what they've posted that's done best, basically. And you don't want to be copying people outright, obviously. You want to be putting your own spin on things, but it gives you an example of what people are resonating with, what people are talking about, what people are interested in your niche at the moment, and also what formats are working. So you can see kind of... are they using threads? Are they using how much space are they using? Are they using emojis? Whatever it is, you can see kind of what's working best for people. It's a great way of getting some quick content ideas. Now I'm going to show you the second way. The second way we can find content ideas is by using advanced Twitter search. Now, this is great because creators like this, when you have 300,000 followers, checking their latest tweets is not a great, it's good for coming up with ideas, but it doesn't really show you how they grew themselves. They can post anything. They can post the weather and they're going to get 100, 200, 300 likes for that because they got so many followers. People, obviously, it's like the bandwagon effect. Everyone just jumps in and wants to, they see other people liking it, so they all just want to jump in and like it as well, when they're at that stage. So A really good way of doing this is with advanced Twitter search. I'm going to show you now. I'm going to put this down below, this prompt, so you can search it yourself. It's basically from the username, and then it gives you a date range. So it shows you their posts, their old posts, basically. So if I check this creator out with 110,000 followers, and I check what he was doing between 2020 and 2021, and hit enter, I can see his old stuff. Now, this is great because you can scroll back and you can also see that, 2 years ago, a year and a half ago, he was getting 6 likes for his post. So that's great to see because it shows you how quickly you can actually grow on the platform. Now he's getting hundreds per post easily. But it's also a good way of seeing when he actually starts getting traction. So when you start scrolling up, you can see he gets 13 here. You're starting to get 44 here. So you can start replicating some of these ideas yourself. You can see what he actually used to grow his audience. And you can do this with any creator as well. So I'm going to put that down below. And that's another fantastic way of coming up with some unique content ideas. So that covers the fundamentals about getting started and getting traction on Twitter. The first couple of hundred followers are always going to be the most difficult because you're not getting a lot of impressions. But this is how I got from 0 to 1,000 in about 45 days after months and months of frustration and going nowhere. So if you follow these steps, you should start seeing similar results. If you have any questions at all, feel free to leave a comment and make sure to subscribe. Thanks for watching.